the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. This taken in at the goal line. And he won't quite. Make it to the 25. Throwing to start here is Tua. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. Two guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. On play action, here's Tua. This pass is caught by London. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
And this offense has come out swinging here in the early going. They pick up a nice chunk on that pitch and catch. And the two of them have this offense moving in the right direction to start this game.
On first down, Tagovailoa. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. The veteran Kyle Van Noy in there to drop him.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game. And you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. And gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. And really gets them amped up as they go forward.
It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
That's good for a 1st down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical. They've been crisp. And as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Robinson will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
2nd and goal from the 1. Here's Tua. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Falcons are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive, maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got the connection to Moore. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession. And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. As they've got it as we resume action. The NFL's leading rusher in 2019 and 2020, Derrick Henry. And he's going to have a Ravens 1st down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. Now it's Jackson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the result. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at 148-yard line and ended at the other.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. On second down, here's Henry. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run, because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now Jackson on first down. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
From the 13 now, they work on first and 10. To throw is Jackson. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know what's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that that could be a really, really frequent combination. Jackson now. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing at the break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board. Give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Now a 2nd and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Throw right side complete to Dotson. And wrangled down quickly just past the 40 at the 41. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. Throw left side. There's London. And he'll be brought down at the 27. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. To a hit, and the ball is out. And it's picked up by the Ravens.
Partner, everything that happened before that fumble was great. Good vision, navigated the open field, got good chunk yardage. At that point, if you see a defender coming, though, just step out of bounds. Don't risk all you picked up before the hit to just try and get an extra yard or 2.
And an anxious moment or 2 there, but they do get him down. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Watch tight. Tight ends right.
Inside handoff, Henry. And he's stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
He had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Here's 3rd and 9. Now Jackson. A check down here for Henry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one and a Raven 1st.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
We got 3, fellas. We got 3.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6. Henry up the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, Henry. And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there, and it helps him move the sticks. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. A give to Henry, and he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 6.
Hey, we got 3 down.
Play action. Now Jackson steps away. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
Play action. It's Jackson. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Buried behind the line by Azeez Ojulari.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Robinson with another carry. And he is going to have a Falcons first down. And it would appear that that's going to be the one to do it. And they'll indeed take a knee. Second down and a run by Robinson. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
Down to a knee goes Tua, and that should just about do it. Well, this is one of those games where if you win it, it feels extra special. But to lose a close one like this, Charles, remember where they didn't score any points in the second half, that has to sting a bit more.
Absolutely, and I really think that they're going to spend so much time poring over this game film, trying to figure out where their calls went wrong, how they didn't execute on certain plays. They were so close. Yeah, this one's going to linger for a little while as they try and diagnose this loss.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Baltimore, so long, everybody.